This evening I hadn't really planned on doing a video, but I ran across something that I thought maybe I ought to share with everybody. First off, let me give you a little background. For several years now, probably actually 6 or 7 years, anytime one of my grinders, 4.5 inch grinders, would go bad, I'd just pitch it under the bench here, and I'd say I'll get to it when I get time, and I always have a spare. I try to keep 3 or 4 angle grinders hanging off the rack at any one given time. So anyway, being a creature of habit that I am, I just kept tossing them under there and, you know, saying one of these days I'll get around to change the brushes. Well, today's the day. So I had 2 DeWalt DWE4120s, I had 2 DWE4120s, and I had 1 DWE4120. So these went pretty quick, pretty easy, okay? And there's several videos on the on YouTube and other places that'll show you how to change the brushes. Then I got to this one, this 4120. The first thing I noticed on this 4120 was that it only has 1 screw. There aren't any screws on the side. Okay, there are no screws on the side. So it's definitely a different angle. So anyway, I thought this can't be that hard, so I took the back screw out, and I still couldn't get it apart. So I go in the house and I YouTube it. And there's nothing on YouTube. There's parts breakdowns on the internet, but I couldn't find anything where anybody had took one of these apart. I did find where one guy, just a few days ago, ended up pulling the armature out of it, and then he couldn't figure out how to get it back together. So anyway, not to be stymied, I guess you would call it, I came back out and I took the screw out and I started prying on it. Well, that wasn't going to work. I'm just an old hillbilly, but that's not going to work. So I sat and took a look at it a minute, and I'll show you how it comes apart, because I did figure it out before I tore it up. Because it does work. I'll show you real quick. Because I've already replaced the brushes in it. But since it went good, and I thought you people might want to see it, I put it back together. I'm going to take it back apart. It does work. So, real quick, all you really need is you need a Torx bit or a small screwdriver. You need a pair of needle nose pliers, real small needle nose pliers. It's kind of handy to have another bigger screwdriver handy, and maybe an O-ring pick. Okay? So, here we go. We're going to take this apart. We're going to make sure we're unplugged. Now, I'm going to show my A's and put my cheaters on. So the first thing we want to do, this is kind of backwards because I'm right-handed. I'm going to have to do everything left-handed. First thing we want to do here is we want to take that screw out. Just call me fumble fingers, I'm used to it, especially left-handed. Okay. So there's a screw. Now if you take that and you pull on it, it starts to come out, but then it stops. And I hate to admit it, but if you look around there, you'll even find some pretty nasty marks where I stuck a screwdriver in there trying to pry it apart. But here's a simple solution. You pull that trigger in, you push that in, the trigger lock in, and then you pull it out, and look at that, it comes apart. Isn't that simple? That's just amazing how simple that is. Once you do that, if you look, let me zoom in here. This is professional, people, isn't it? Okay, if you look, on the one side you have the brush holder, right there in the brush, and right there is the spade terminal. So you take it off there, the spade terminal off, you raise your brush up, your brush spring, and you pull your brush out. That's all there is to it. Let me see if I can get that off. I got another set of brushes just in case I destroy this set. Get that loose. And I pull that up. Like I said, that brush just lifts right out of there. Put that back in there because it's a brand new brush. Now we take that, we raise that back up, get that out of the way. We put that back down. That's all there is to it. It's real simple. The brushes were cheap. Now on the other side, it's not much more complicated. The only thing on the other side is you have to lift this paddle switch out of the way because the brush is under the paddle switch. But once you get the paddle switch out of the way, there's your spring, there's your brush down there, and there's your terminal. Okay, you just unplug it from there. I find it easier to lay it on the bench, raise that up with the needle nose, and then pull the brush out and just reverse the process. So now we want to put it back together. So all we want to do is we want to take the paddle switch, stick that in there, put that right there. Okay. Now, you look at it here, like I said, that just slips in there, and that goes back on there. If you look at your stop button is pretty self-explanatory. It fits in there and it fits over that shaft right there. And then all you do is you come back up here, you make sure that you're facing the right way with everything. Okay. And we just push down on that switch, you push forward, and there we go. Now we're not even where we need to be. Okay, so we're going to push that back out. Let's zoom this back out. Okay, so we're going to push that back down in there like we did before, and we're going to pull that back out a little bit, not very far. We're just going to get that lined up where it's supposed to be on both sides like that. Okay, there's little tabs in there. Now, there we go. Now once we got that, we take that, put the screw back in, see if it works. There it is. That's all there is to it. Take the screw out, push your paddle switch in, push your paddle switch in. Once you get your paddle switch depressed all the way, then you just push your trigger lock in as far as it'll go and slide that off. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, it's been kind of a long day. I'm dirty and I'm nasty, but You know, you don't care, you just want to fix your angle grinder. So, there we go. So I managed to fix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angle grinders today. Here's some of the bones from it, right there. Some of the old brushes. This one here, the DWE4120 takes a 90 or an M097696 brush, and the 28110s and the 28402s, they take a 65091601 brush is what they take. Okay? Thanks for watching. You have a good evening.